Welcome to Rhythm and Rose. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest. We have singer-songwriter Mary Dubon. Welcome to Rhythm and Rose.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. I've been watching all of the other interviews you've been doing,
Oh,
and it's
cool.
amazing just being able to see all these different artists and musicians just really take hold of El Paso. So excited to be here.
Well, thank you for watching the interviews. I really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. And hope was there any of the interviews that stood out to you that I don't know, that you were like,
Oh,
oh, that was cool.
wow. There were a couple. I didn't really take into consideration how much El Paso just has a very big growing cinematic, I guess, field.
Oh,
So seeing
right.
like all these people that are even as far as like photography, I feel like those are arts that I've never really delved into.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's been really cool, really. Yeah.
That is cool. All right. And some of the interviewers are also from, or actually, I should say my guests are from
Yeah.
Las Cruces as well. So it's like a half and half. Some are from El Paso, are from Las Cruces. So yeah.
Awesome.
But yes, it's great to have both worlds sharing their sharing
100%.
their
Yeah.
skills and their talents. So anyway, but yes, thank you again for watching and supporting Rhythm and Roads. Appreciate you.
Of
But let's
course.
get into your story. So we're gonna go into season one, chapter one, episode one of Mary, of when it all started for you. So I do like to ask my guests this question: Is when did it start for you in the beginning of like either when you were young,
Mhm.
is it when you were a child or a teenager, just to the fact of when you're like, you know what, I want to like write music, I want to, become an artist. So if you want to share on that story there.
Of course. So for me, it definitely started at a very young age. I want to say I was maybe like 4 or 5.
Oh wow, that is young.
Yes, I was a little baby. My dad was actually a musician,
Oh
and
yeah? Oh cool.
yes, he would do like 80s ballads. And I remember growing up, my dad had like professionally recorded little cassettes. And so when he'd
Oh
take us to school, he'd pop that into the car. And it was just incredible knowing, like, oh my God, like this is my dad. So
dang.
I come from a very heavily influenced in music family. My
Heck
brothers
yeah.
as well, they've all been all revolving around like music. And so that's really where everything started for me. I want to say where it really, really took over my life is maybe when I was about like 13, I got my first guitar.
Oh cool.
Yeah, no, right? I felt like a little rock star. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it big. The whole
Rockstar.
concept of like, I know El Paso's a big city, but you know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
the whole concept of little town, big dreams. It was
True,
definitely
yeah,
like that. Yeah. So I
yeah.
was like, yeah, it's gonna be great. And I
Like, let's ready to
remember,
rock.
yeah, exactly. I remember like the thrill of writing my first song.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, I was definitely around that age. Super cheesy. I think it was like based off of like ramen noodles or something crazy, like something like
Oh heck
yeah,
yeah.
no, right?
Ramen noodles.
13-year-old cringe. Yeah, no,
Man.
and ever since then, I've really just been playing different like genres, kind of like messing around with like different styles and been songwriting since. So it's been amazing.
Wow. It's
Hmm.
something that you mentioned about your dad, because my dad was the same way. My dad's a musician. He's a singer as well and songwriter.
Yeah.
So yeah, so growing up in like early teenage years, he had his music on cassette tapes and he would always play some of his songs. And I'd be like, oh, so cool. Yeah. So we share similar fathers in that aspect.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
especially because I feel like back then, cassettes were everything.
Oh,
And
yeah. Right. And you're just like, oh, cool.
yeah,
Let's rewind this part again.
right. Just with the pencil.
Yeah, the pencil going like this and trying to
Oh,
find the
yeah.
right spot. You're like,
Oh,
rewind,
yeah.
play.
No, like,
No, rewind, play.
anyway,
Fast
you're like,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
no,
God it's
no.
not like that
Totally.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's move on.
Right. No, it was really cool because I remember my dad used to have like the little recording like boxes, like the cassette recording boxes and things like that. And I still have a bunch of like blank cassettes and
Oh, you do? Oh, wow.
yes. And so I've recorded a few things on those blank cassettes. I know it's
Yeah,
like
that's
super
cool.
like probably hard to get anything out there in cassette nowadays, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. It's a fun
So
little thing. Hold
let me
on.
ask you, so your dad is who inspired you to want to pursue this, to be a
Yes.
singer-songwriter? Okay.
100%. My dad, and then a little bit of my mom as well.
Okay.
She used to always tell me stories of when she was in high school. She was in a cover band, a Mexicano cover band.
Oh wow,
The
okay,
lead
cool.
singer, and just,
Cool
I guess
mom, look at
growing up in
her.
that music fantasy world
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
yeah, helped me like delve into it. So.
Dang. And what is your parents doing now with their music?
So my dad, unfortunately, yeah, he hasn't really done anything much with music. He still
Okay.
occasionally does like a little bit of like karaoke. And my mom, of course, Hispanic mom, when she cleans, she's always like playing music or singing. So
Yeah.
little things like that. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. And my
Yeah.
dad's not doing a whole lot right now either, but it's
Yeah.
just my brother and I are, well, I'm a drummer, so as
Mhm.
the musician side of me is the being a
Yeah.
drummer. But then my brother, he's a filmmaker in LA, but also he
Um,
sings and plays guitar and writes
that's
songs. But he
amazing.
doesn't do that as like full time as his film career. So
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
that's wow. Especially up in LA. I'm sure it's got to be wild being up there. I'm sure all the people he's, collaborating with. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
amazing.
it's been a great experience of just going up there sometimes and visiting him, getting to meet certain people. So yeah, it's been cool. It's a
No,
blessing to have that. Yeah. But
100%.
onto your journey still. So
Yes,
we're gonna
okay.
be on season 2 now, episode 2.
Perfect.
So okay, so at 13 you got your guitar, and then from there, what happened after that? Did you take lessons? Did you like how did you discover your voice when you were singing?
Of course. So, as far as my voice, I started to join choir in high school. So that kind of really helped me
Oh, okay.
develop like technique. And
Yeah.
um, I remember really like back then, of course, YouTube wasn't as big as it is now,
Hmm. True, yeah.
years ago. And so I remember it was like the time where you had to like go and like print out all the guitar tabs. So, with the guitar tabs and by ear is really where I learned how to play guitar.
Okay.
So the combination of two really is what got me started. That and then of course being surrounded by, in high school, a lot of really great musicians. So I picked
Yeah.
up like a lot of like techniques through them. And yeah, I want to say that that's kind of where the wheel started to roll on it.
No, that's good. I'm glad you surrounded yourself with musician friends from high school and that's I mean that helps. So to
100%.
learn
Yeah.
from them, get the whole songwriting because I mean I take it you learned songwriting from your parents or your friends or
So
both.
honestly, with songwriting, I want to say definitely started with my parents, and then from
Okay.
there, I kind of just learned to do it on my own.
Yeah.
I would listen to, what songs on the radio would be doing, and I would kind of be like, "Oh, that's really cool how they added like the hook there," or
Yeah.
the chorus in the beginning, little tricks like that. So
That is cool. Yeah.
yes.
I don't know much about songwriting. I just yeah, my dad and my brother are more into that, but when I have seen them, and it's real interesting. It's pretty much like writing a poem, but using, of course, the instruments to go along with the rhythm. So
Yes,
anyway,
100%. Yeah, no, it's definitely a journey within itself, every
it
song.
is.
And um, really it's making it a habit too. I feel like since I was 13, I've really have tried to write at least like one song every week or two.
Oh
Even
wow,
if they're not songs that like I'll use. I mean, I
right?
have like hundreds of songs in like my song cemetery is what I call it. And occasionally like when I'll write something, I'll like take ideas and things like that.
Yeah,
So
song cemetery. That's funny.
and I'm
All
sorry
right.
about the barking. I have my little border collies here, I guess, as a
No, no,
his guest.
bring on the special guest. That's totally
Yeah, right?
fine. Yeah, I've had guests pre-show their animals and their
Yeah,
dogs and stuff. So yeah, it's
yeah.
totally cool.
So
I
she's
did see her cat in the background. I was like, oh,
oh yeah, she's yeah, wanting to take the spotlight too.
right. Like, don't forget about me.
Yeah, no, she's great. She's great. But
So
no,
go on.
honestly, definitely what I want to focus the most when it comes to songwriting is just really I guess embracing the authentic part of songwriting. Like I really want it to be like an authentic message, like something I can share with people and something people can listen to and be like, oh my God, like she went through the same thing I did. And this is how like we can connect.
Yeah.
So
Relate to.
yes. And
I
I
love
feel
songs like that. Yeah.
right. Yeah. And I feel like throughout the years, I've really been just fine-tuning that.
Mm.
And that's why like country music is my biggest passion right now. I feel
Oh, is
like
it? Okay.
yes, Yes, definitely. It's definitely the genre, folk and country, definitely the genres that I feel I can resonate with more.
Okay.
Um, I've noticed that a lot of people really do appreciate storytelling. And I feel
Mm.
obviously, with folk, that's the whole concept of it, right? Like we're
Right.
storytelling. And so yeah, that's been really my bread and butter these days.
No, that's cool. Yeah. I don't listen to a whole lot of folk.
hmm
I have country music. Yeah, I have a few favorites. Carrie Underwood, Brooks and Dunn, Tim McGraw. Um,
All the classics.
yeah, the classics, especially Brooks and Dunn's first album. I think no, I don't know if there was the first, but it was the one with My Maria.
Oh yeah,
Like that,
Marie.
yeah, that album is like hot. That album, almost every
100.
song on there is like, God dang, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And
guys, calm
it's
down. It's too hot. Like,
right, it's like chill. It's
chill.
really
Take a breather on that.
interesting. Yeah, and it's really cool that you brought that up because I feel really following, country trends. What
Yeah.
I've noticed that's been going on right now is a lot of artists are bringing back that like 90s style country music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been really cool because I feel like that's really what I want to like focus on too. So, like knowing that that's coming back, I'm like, yes, it's my time.
Yes. Time to come out and share the
All
90s like
right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm very big on the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah, 80s and
I'm
90s for
very big
sure.
on 80s and 90s. I wish I could relive that era. Just the whole
Uh-huh.
start of the 80s and 90s of music and just the journey.
Oh, of
Because
course.
it just, I don't know, good, especially the 90s too, like early 90s.
Uh-huh.
I just been watching certain things. I'm like, God, man, I miss some of the stuff. Like not just music, but like Super Mario when it first came out, how big that was, and
Oh yeah.
just certain other stuff in the 90s that you grew up watching from Disney classics when they first came out in the theaters. You're like, oh, I remember seeing that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. I feel like even movies, a bunch
Yeah.
of movies that came out within like, you know, in the 90s, 80s, or even like the early 2000s, they just don't make movies like that
They
anymore. So it's
don't.
yeah.
I agree. They do not. Yeah. That's why I look
Mhm.
back and I'm like, I miss that era.
Right, it's like what happened? Oh, we finally grew up. No.
Yeah. But
No.
we'll get more into towards the end of what your favorite movies are, and I always like to
Oh,
get to know that.
yes.
So
Okay.
let's get into your songs. So if you'd like to share, I guess your first song that you actually recorded, and then we can go from there.
Of course. So one of the first songs that I ever recorded, I used to play it with a band I was in a long, long time ago,
Oh,
early 20s.
cool.
It was called we were called the Imaginariums.
The
Uh,
Imaginariums.
the Imaginariums,
Oh,
yeah,
it's a nice
it was
title.
fun. Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool because I feel like all of us kind of had like different styles of music playing. So coming together and just being able to, create like this one I guess like melting pot of like styles is just really cool. First song I ever wrote was called Strange Love Strange.
Strange Love Strange.
Yes, and it was really cool. It's the first song I actually recorded.
Okay.
And I want to say last year, I was able to go out to Ruidoso with a friend of mine, and he gave me the opportunity to like go and like kind of record it in a more like studio professional
Oh,
way too.
cool.
He even put some things in it. So it was really cool being able to see like an old dinosaur of like music come back and get like refined and
Come back to life. Oh, you're talking
yeah.
about like your music that were in the archives?
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. You're bringing them out. Nice. I'm glad you did
hmm
that.
Yeah, no,
I
it
love
was
Rio
really
Doso, by the way.
cool.
It's like
Oh yeah.
one of my favorite spots. Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah,
so
no.
this song that you're talking about that you did in the studio, it's the Strange Love.
Strange Love Strange.
Okay, cool. What kind of style of song is that? Is it like a full set band? Is it just you and the guitar?
Yeah. So when I originally wrote the song, it was definitely folk,
Oh, okay.
100% guitar part, everything. And then
Yeah.
when I brought the Imaginariums in it to, input their part. It definitely had almost even like a little bit of I want to say like a psychedelic rock touch to
Oh,
it.
heck
It was
yeah.
really cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So it was really cool. And then when we went up to Ruidoso and I had like another friend kind of like go in and tweak it a bit, it became almost like a little bit of like gypsy jazz.
What?
Yes, it's been
Oh,
like kind of morphed in different ways.
yeah,
It
that's
still holds
interesting.
its roots, it still has, the same melody, it still has the same guitar part, and they just kind of add these little flavors. So it's exciting. It's really
That is
cool.
cool, yeah.
Uh-huh.
How can I hear the song? Like, is it on SoundCloud? Is it on Spotify?
It's not yet.
Oh, it's not yet. Okay.
Not yet, not yet, but definitely soon. I'm probably gonna reach out to my friends, see how we can like kind of perfect it, and then maybe I'll be able to release it and share it with the world because
Yes,
it's
please do.
yes.
That sounds really interesting. Like just what everything you described of it. I'm like, wow, I want to like already listen to it. Can I press play?
Right?
That's
Soon, soon
funny.
enough, soon
I
enough.
know,
You'll be
right?
the first I tell.
That's cool. So that was your that's your first, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
and then what else after that? Other songs that you've
So
recorded or
yes, I'm actually currently working on a few. I have three songs in the workings.
oh,
I've been just home studioing it right now just to kind of get like the basic skeleton of it.
right.
They're really cool. They're definitely more towards like the folk, a little bit of like Delta blues.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, no, those are probably the ones that I have that have been like pretty much like closest to fine tuning. So hopefully by October, I'll be able to 100% get them produced, released, and then I'll be out there.
Cool. No pressure, but my birthday's September 2nd, so maybe there'll be first single could be out around Labor Day weekend. I'm just
We'll
saying.
see. Yeah, a little like teaser maybe.
All right. Or even a teaser. I'll be like, hey, that's so cool. Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
would love to hear Strange Love Strange. So
Yes, of course. We'll
cool.
have to do, yeah, definitely to refined it and release it and
Nice.
at some point go out and play it, hopefully by the end of
Yeah,
the
that'd
year.
be cool. Have you done
Yeah.
any live shows in the past or like,
Yes, I
yeah?
have. I have. So not as much as I used to recently. But the last show I played was out in Rito. So the last time
Okay.
I played was out in Rito. So, and then from there, I've been doing like little open mics here and then.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll go out to the San Jacinto Plaza or Montecillo and I'll just kind of play a little bit there. And
Cool.
yeah,
As in like
so.
showing up and playing, or you actually or with other artists or
So the one in Ruidoso, I was able to play with a different artist with
okay.
a yeah, and then other than that, I mean, sometimes I just get like the performing bug, and so I'll just, if I don't have anything lined up, I'll just go and I'll start playing. So
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, let me keep us posted on your next live show or anything coming up because I'd love
Of
to see you in
course.
person.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and I'd love to have everybody there. So
Yes. And there's times where we do actually, well, I had an idea, but I'm not going to share it because it's not set in stone yet. But if it does come
Mhm.
to about, I will keep you in mind because it
Yeah.
does pertain to a lineup of artists, kind of like a festival. But
Oh,
we're
wow.
in the talks of that. Well, yeah, but I don't want to say too much yet.
Uh, of
But I'll
course.
keep you in mind.
Top secret. Thank you.
Yeah, top secret. Yeah, cool. So, from your style of music, I want to ask you like who's your influences of the music artists out there. So I would say like Emmylou Harris. Is she one that you
Lou
like?
Harris, definitely in my heart. I can't say she's like my main, I guess, inspiration. I
Wow.
mean, I think it's just it's a difficult question because I feel like I just have so many,
There's yeah,
of course,
quite a bit.
obviously the greats like Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Um, I also want to say I Muddy Waters definitely took a hold of me for a while, for
Okay.
sure, with Delta Blues and really those have been like the biggest inspirations for me for sure. But it's just so hard because I love so many people. Like obviously Dolly Parton, I feel
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
uh what I want to be at some point. The El Paso Dolly Parton. I'm just kidding now,
Wait,
but
is that really your idol? Is Dolly?
she definitely is up there for
She's up
sure.
there?
But I feel
Okay.
like I have 100 spaces for all these great musicians.
That's funny.
But yeah, I want to say definitely those are my biggest influences right now. The artist that I feel has been really changing the game for me is Zach Top. I feel like he's definitely top of the top.
Zach Top?
Zach Top, he's a
No.
fairly new country artist.
Okay.
And it's really cool because he's definitely part of that, bringing all the old, country style back. So
Hmm.
it's really cool just seeing what all these people are doing.
Interesting. Okay. I'll have to look them up.
Yeah, yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah. But yes, Emmylou Harris, going back to her, I listened to her album Wrecking Ball, and it's,
Oh,
oh
definitely.
my
Of course.
God. Like,
Yeah.
so, but all right, I'm not trying to get into the sad spot here of what I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
say, but when I heard the song Wrecking Ball, which is a very slow song, but
Mhm.
it was around the time when my late mother passed away almost 4 years ago. So her brother came down for the funeral, and he's very big on music. Like he brought me up listening to the legends, David Bowie, just so many great artists, right? That I had back then when I was a teenager, I didn't even know they existed. I was like, "Who's this?" Or U2. He's the one that introduced me to U2, right? So,
Yeah.
so while we were discussing about, my mom, his sister, and this was like after the funeral and all that. He's all like, your mom really loved Emmylou Harris. I was like, I did not know that. Like, what? Like all this time? And yeah. And he's like, let's play this song Wrecking Ball from her album Wrecking Ball. I think it's called, that's the self-titled album. And when I listened to it, I mean, I cried because it really has that emotion a lot in it. But one thing about this song that it has so much in it that it's like psychedelic kind of.
Hmm.
And there's a thing in there that I've always shown to other musicians, and I'm not going to describe it because it's very hard to describe it, but it's like a
Yeah.
certain sound effect they use on the guitar that they put in this song, Wrecking Ball. And when I hear it, I'm like, that sounds so cool, but it goes so well. I'm gonna have to show you sometime, but it's
Oh,
just
of
like it's when
course.
when I've shown other artists like my friends that are musicians, I say, hey,
Hmm.
what is this? And I play the song, just not all of it, but that part. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know what they're doing. They're using the guitar, but they're like, I guess I don't know. I'm not a guitarist, but they're doing something with the strings that make it sound very like what I'm describing. And I
Yeah.
was like, holy crap, like that's so cool.
Wow, that's wild. It's crazy how like innovative, just guitars become.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But it's just interesting what you can do with the guitar for sound effects or just certain ambience for certain songs. You're like, that's the guitar? Like, yeah. But they're doing it in a certain way that's like it makes it sound like that. It's like, wow, it's
Of
beautiful. So
course.
I know
Yeah.
for those that don't understand what I'm trying to say, but listen to Wrecking Ball. If you listen to Wrecking Ball by Emmylou Harris, you will probably pick it up. You're like, oh, I think he's talking about that.
Like that's definitely it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I bought the actual album with the DVD making it's showing her the behind the
Mhm.
scenes of the making of the album. So it's actually
Oh,
badass.
no way. So you did your
Yeah.
homework on it. You're like,
Oh,
what
I
is
did.
this?
And I'm gonna say this last part because remember it's not about me, it's about you today. But they hired the drummer from U2 to play some songs with her on the album, which is Larry Mullen Jr., the
That's
drummer for U2. Yeah, so I was like, that's so cool that Larry got to work with her on this album as something very different from U2. But but he was
of
just like, yeah,
course.
I'll help you out. So that's it. Little history there. All right. So let's get
Yeah.
into what's next for you on you said you have 3 songs in the works, right? And then
Yes.
and then so are you wanting to bring out an album down the road or is this more for an EP?
Definitely right now more for an EP, but I'll be honest. So I gave myself that timeline. And the reason why I did is because I would like to have a little bit of wiggle room to actually, instead of just doing something small, maybe
Okay.
releasing an album. Um, I do have a lot of material that I feel like would be really, really great album
Get it,
material.
girl. Get it
So
out.
yeah, just really depending how far I get, one or the other. But definitely I would love to be able to do like a whole album and just start,
Yeah.
playing shows with those originals as soon as possible.
Oh
Really.
yeah. And then get
Mhm.
on tour, have your own
Oh
tour.
yeah. 100%, then do a European tour and
Oh heck yeah. Okay, so now let's make it a worldwide tour.
yes,
Yeah, let's
worldwide.
not limit just US. Let's do the whole world. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Gotta dream big. Gotta dream
Well,
big.
that's why my slogan is live the impossible, right?
Yeah,
It's up to you. That's
100%.
what I keep saying to all my guests, live the impossible.
Yeah.
Of
No, and I,
course,
and I love it.
yeah, and the thing is like for your music and the thing for with me with filmmaking, it takes time. You know, there's no rush.
Mhm.
There's no I need to hurry up and get this because people are expect. Do it at the time that when it's supposed to come out, it's supposed to come out. Not
Right.
get so much pressure on you and your team because it's just because you
Hmm.
want something out, and then it may not even sound as great, and you're like, crap, like, well, because we rushed it, you know?
Right.
It's like, no, take your time with it. Like when it's supposed to come out, there's already a certain think about
Hmm.
this. In the future that we're not even there yet, there's already a deadline of when your music is going to come out without you even knowing.
True.
You know what I
That's
mean?
absolutely true.
So if you just let
100%.
go and let things come to be,
Hmm.
the deadline's already out there. It's just, it's already, you're going to just go through the steps to get there.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
you're absolutely right. I feel like it also helps keep it like more authentic because
Yeah.
if you are trying to rush it, you might start doing fillers or things that you feel like aren't really you, and it's
Well, true.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing
Yeah.
is that's why certain musicians like David Bowie, U2, even filmmakers, certain ones that I look up to, they take their time with their craft because they want when they bring it out for their fans, either in the film or the music industry, it's like it better be damn good for a long period of time, you know what I mean? And
For
then usually it
sure.
is. You listen to you're like, oh wow, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if it's
You
like
can
one a
find
year later and then a year later there's another album and you listen to it, you're like, God, that sounds rushed. You know what I mean? Like there's not even a good hit on this album.
it's like, hold on, they just release it to release it, and
Yeah, and I don't like that. I feel like if for certain artists that I follow, it's like, hey man, take your time. Like you just
yeah.
brought an album out like a year and a half ago, now you have another one out and it doesn't even
Oh
sound
yeah.
close to, you know what I mean?
And it's really cool that you brought that up because I don't know where I heard this, but this is something I've been kind of holding on for most of my life. But I heard somewhere that art is the fossil of human emotion.
Hmm.
Like when we find artifacts, it tells us a lot about like history, but not necessarily like what people were feeling, at that time. And with art, whether it's music, painting, writing, we really get to just look into that person's soul. And I feel like if you're creating art or you're creating like music or anything just to create it, but not really to put yourself into it, I feel like it kind of I feel like it kind of doesn't really make it art anymore. So if like you can really just be authentic with it and not be afraid to show what you feel, your perspective on things. I feel like that's what truly makes it a beautiful and a
Oh
timeless
wow, well
thing.
said. Well
Hmm.
said. I totally agree. You couldn't have
Yeah.
said it better. Yeah. And that's why certain songs I can relate because of I feel like they're wanting to like with your music, of course, you want to connect with that person. You want them to when they listen to it, like, oh man, she's saying the stuff I just went through, or you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as humans, like that's what we were meant to do on this earth is really connect with each other, and music, art really makes that easier for us for sure.
it does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um,
Even bringing up like that little part that you mentioned, that little guitar part, it's like it's cool how we're even able to connect with something without having direct words. Like it's just you hear something and you feel something,
yeah.
So it's really neat. It's cool.
I'm gonna
Uh,
have to show you that part. I am. Right after this, I'm gonna say, all right, fast forward it to this part of the
it's
song and
like,
you'll
by
hear
the
it.
way, this section.
Oh yeah. And but here's the thing about that part of that guitar that we're talking about from Emma Lou
Hmm.
is it does connect to me. I don't know why. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like very it takes you it's like it's just something about it. You're like, what is that? But it's a way that it's like, holy shit, like that does something to the song. And I've mentioned that, and I've heard it before with other producers that like Brian Eno, he's
Hmm.
produced U2 and Bowie and other, but his style is similar to that. And I think Brian Eno is what was backed up with Emmylou
Hmm.
Harris on this album. I think Brian Eno helped produce this album, and that's why his style has some of that. I was like, well, that makes sense because in his music, he has that psychedelic kind of ambient
Hmm.
songs. So anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
People are probably
And
like, all right, shut up, move on to the next
no,
thing.
no, it's very educational. Like I'm loving every
I
second
love
of
it.
it. I'm
I could
like
talk
taking
about
notes too.
talk about music all day.
Good, good. Same here. So,
Well, let's get into your now that we got to know your music and all that, let's get into the film aspect. So I want to ask, what films do you like? growing up that you've liked, certain Disney ones. That way the viewers can get to know you a bit.
Okay, so let me start off with my favorite princess because I feel like every girl has a favorite princess. So I love Anastasia. I feel like I know she's not
Wow.
Disney. I know she's not Disney, but I feel like
No,
the
I
movie
know,
was
but
just
that's
so dark
interesting
and
to bring her
cool.
up. Wow. That is
Yeah,
crazy. You're the
yeah.
first to bring her up. So
Good, good.
cool.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
I feel
good,
like
yeah.
there needs to be more awareness of how cool she is.
That's a good movie. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Because all the other ones, like, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, girly,
Right.
gentle, and part of me loves that. But I feel like with Anastasia, it was just such a,
Wow.
especially as a kid, like you watch that and you're terrified, it like impacts you, and
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. So I want to say that that is definitely my princess. Favorite movies? It's really difficult, of course, being an artist, I love movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, of course.
Wow, I haven't seen that in forever. Yeah, that's an
Yeah, right? Like I feel like
yeah.
that movie still, when I watch it, I still bawl out in tears.
Okay, cool, cool.
That movie, and then of course I'm a big fan of horror films.
Mm.
My older brother is actually a horror writer.
Is he
So
really?
growing
Oh, no
up,
way.
he
That's cool.
is, yeah, he writes horror. So of course, like me and him growing up kind of like in that, it kind of like became just like our thing. So I can say the Scream franchise is one of my favorites. So
That's cool.
yeah, I want to
And
say
then
that.
music artist? Who's your favorite? Well, I know you mentioned some already, but if there's any
Yes, favorite. So it really just depends on the genre too. Like in
rock
Spanish.
or
I
Spanish.
want to say La Gusana Ciega is my favorite band and has been my favorite band for years. They're
Oh, okay.
amazing. And yeah, country-wise right now, Zach Top for sure. I'm
Country?
obsessed.
Yeah. Do you have a certain classic rock that you like?
Classic rock.
Of a band, of a
Ooh.
band.
No, obviously, you too, for sure. I
Oh,
have them on
really?
my
Okay.
set. Yeah, no, they're um, I'm trying to
Journey?
think what else.
Do
And
you
then
like
of
Journey?
course, um, hmm. I'm trying to think because I just have so many. Obviously, if it comes to jazz, I love John Coltrane. I think he's amazing. Um, I just have like so many.
That's
It's
fine. Oh yeah. Hey, that's cool. You like U2.
yes.
One of the U2's albums that I really recommend is back when they're, I guess, the early 80s.
Uh-huh.
Unforgettable Fire.
Unforgettable Fire.
That's one
Okay.
of their old albums. That's a really good album. Yeah. It's very different from their music now because it's back then is I think what U2 is what U2 is.
Yeah.
There's War, of course, U2
Yes.
War. That's a good album. But
Or
then
yeah,
there's
that's the one I have on cassette. That's like my
oh my
favorite
God,
cassette
you
of
have
all
it on
times. Yeah.
cassette. So cool. Wow. But yes, check out Unforgettable Fires. That's one of their. I think that came. I'm sorry. Unforgettable Fire came out. I think after War.
Okay.
But correct. Yeah, I think so. And then after that was after Unforgettable Fire. Then it was Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
which another.
Yeah,
But
another great.
oh my God! Like, and
It
it's
just
very
has so
interesting.
many good ones.
There is. Yeah, I was
Hmm.
gonna say when I saw you two for their 30th anniversary of Joshua Tree.
Uh-huh.
I saw them in Phoenix for that album because they were doing a 30th
Wow.
anniversary. But the way that everything was synced up was just amazing for that year. Because that
Ooh.
year, which was in 2017, I'm probably
Uh-huh.
giving my age away, but I turned 30 in September of 2017.
Yeah.
And that was the year they were celebrating their 30th anniversary. The album's Joshua Tree. My name is Joshua. The
No
album came out in
way.
1987, which the year I was born. I was just like, it can't get better than that.
Yeah, it's like my whole life aligned for this moment.
I was just like, it has to be, man. Like
You
after
have
almost
to
15
go.
years, yeah, I have to go. It's like it's part of my bucket
Yeah.
list for this.
It was your purpose to be there.
Yeah, it's really my life's purpose. That's why I was born for this moment.
Yeah, no,
It
way
was an
too many
incredible experience.
coincidences.
Yeah. Which
It's,
was your favorite concerts you've been to, or have you been to,
oh boy. My favorite concert.
or a memorable one that really stood out?
So, and it was a very small one that I went to. I got to see La Gusana Ciega when they came a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was like close to my birthday too, so I was like, even if I don't find anybody to go with, I'm gonna go, like it's
Yeah.
my favorite band. I can't miss them. And it was crazy because when I went, I mean, it was a tiny little show, so it was really cool because it felt very, very like intimate and just
Oh,
being
yeah.
like almost right in front of like the
Wow.
singer. It was, ah, yeah,
Those
no,
are
I loved
great.
every moment. Sometimes I'll watch the videos again and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I love those intimate shows where it's just so personal and just like very small venue.
Yes, I want to
Mhm.
say like, and I could be wrong because I was so like distracted, but it felt maybe around like 50 people. Like it was very, very little. Um, but no, it was cool. It was really cool. I
Cool.
almost got my arm torn off though, because
Oh, heck yeah.
they
Cool.
were throwing t-shirts. And I swear, and maybe it was like in my little like fantasy head, but like the guitarist looked at me and he like threw a t-shirt at me and I caught it. But there was like this guy next to me, and the moment I caught
Oh,
it, he grabbed it and just threw himself to the ground. So I was like, ah, and I was like, not worth losing my arm for.
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Like keep it, it's fine.
that's crazy. Wow. Jeez. Well, good thing you didn't break off.
Yeah, I was like,
Like,
ah, my
oh
strumming
God.
arm.
Wow.
My
Well,
music career.
well, yeah, you need that for your career. That's
Yeah,
right.
I was like, no.
Like, all right, you could have the shirt. Damn.
Like, fine, keep it. It's
Like, I'd rather
okay. I'll
keep
just
my arm,
buy
man.
my own.
Shit. That's funny. Well,
Yeah,
Mary, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on Rhythm and Roads and sharing your story. And just, it's great getting to know you. And
of
I'm
course.
so cool. That's so cool that your parents are so much like musicians as well. And that's
Yeah,
very
they are.
cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Uh, for the viewers, how can they find you on social media?
of course they can find me on Instagram. That's
Okay.
probably where I'm going to start posting like any upcoming shows, anything that gets released. They can find me under voila underscore Miss Dubon.
Cool.
But yeah, that's gonna be the next step. So it's been an absolute pleasure being able to be part of this. I think that you're doing such an amazing thing, bringing artists to the light,
Thank
and
you.
it's cool. Yeah,
Then,
I
well,
love
thank you. I always appreciate the feedback. I don't get a whole lot of it, but when I do, it means everything to me because
it.
it's
Of
nice to
course.
know. So thank you.
Uh, of
I
course.
really
I'm a big
appreciate
fan.
it.
I'm a big fan.
Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you. I really
Five
appreciate
stars.
it.
Google review, five
Oh,
stars.
oh, geez. Oh, anything else? Like, God, I'm just all
Right.
blushing everywhere now.
Recommend 10 out of 10.
Oh, shoot, man. Wish I had a drink, be like, cheers.
There we go, right?
Right,
Hold on.
right.
Let me.
I know. That's funny. Well, I really want to say thank you again, Mary, for coming on Rhythm and Roads and sharing. And we look forward to seeing or hearing your new music coming out soon down the road. And hopefully we
Yeah,
can see you live. I mean, that'd be a great experience.
of
And
course.
remember, guys, to always live the impossible, do your best, because faith without works, there's no results. So just take that chance, step out in faith, and let's see what's on the other side. So remember to like and subscribe, please. It would mean everything to me. It supports the podcast and the artist's stories. So please subscribe.